I didn't think it was possible, boys. I genuinely just I I'm broken. I'm in shambles, and I'm not even in like the worst case scenario. Like, I've heard horror stories of this type of stuff happening to people where they go seemingly what, almost 20 hours without a single distortion earring, and I honestly always was really skeptical because ever since Star's End has been released, I have never had that happen to me. Not a single time has that happened to me. And to be fair, I am being melodramatic because that still hasn't technically happened to me, but I have now officially gone 7 hours without a disto drop initially. That is quite insane. I did pull one single disto in the last hour. It was like barely like the last 10 minutes of the grind, and I got it, which was just, the sigh of relief that I had, and I was like, it's over. It's finally over. So let's take a look at the trash loot here, boyos. All right, let's take a look at the first 5 hours. I did kind of like intervals, so I did like 5 hours straight when I first woke up, and then I took a break, got something to eat, water, drank, watched some TV, and then I went back to it for another 2 hours, and yeah, that's where I got the disto in the last 2 hours. My idea was I've got castle buff for like another maybe few hours of the day because today is siege day, so we're gonna be passing castle off to whoever the fuck. So whenever that goes down, we're going to deal with that later, but I wanted to just have one last good grind session and get some distos before the siege time, and 7 hours, that broke me. I give no cares anymore. I give no cares. So let's go over the trash loot here. All right, we got 34.9k in the first 5 hours, which equates to roughly around like 500 some odd million. It's pretty decent. I don't really recommend it, and we'll talk about that later on, but we also got 176 ancient dust, 79 Kafras, which actually kind of evened out to like 180-ish mil, which was cool. We got 12 BMCs in the first 5 hours also, and a bunch of armor stones, weapon stones, and all that jazz, which was cool. It was overall good money. I just wish there was more distos involved. And then in my last 2 hours, we got the distortion. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 BMCs, 66 ancient dust, 26 Kafras, and 12.3k trash, and 100 plus armor and weapon stones. So again, we're looking at pretty decent money. It's roughly around 200, like 180-ish mil, something like that. So I'm okay with that. It's not the best, but the disto all together with everything here, just from both trash loots, we're looking at, with the disto included, 1 billion silver, because obviously I didn't, I'm gonna factor in the disto because I'm not keeping it, I'm selling it. So it was a bill for me, and that was my goal, was to reach 1 billion before the day was over. And it is currently 5:48 a.m. so the day has just started, and I'm already a bill up. We're up huge, boys. To be fair, I needed the BMCs also, so this was kind of nice, just, grinding it out for the BMCs. I'm so close to getting back my Pentaragons that I sold for Kafras. So yeah, that was a disaster and a half, but we're getting there. So overall, a bill in about 7 hours. That's a little more work than I was hoping to put into. I was looking to get like 3 distos in maybe like 2-3 hours and then call it a day, but had to make up for lost time. So yeah. Now the thing is, do I recommend grinding like this? Not really. I've always been that person that kind of advocates like, take your breaks, chill, relax, do something that's not that monotonous and mental strain. It's just not fun. I made a video a while ago talking about how I grinded Akhman for 6 hours straight, and it was just like, doing that was so hard on my body, like physically. My hands hurt, my ass was hurting for sitting in the chair for too long. Granted, it's my fault, I should have got up, stretched and whatnot, but I just wanted to just power through that as much as I could. And just the mental fortitude and discipline that I have to sit here and actually sit in physical uncomfortableness is amazing, and it's not healthy. It's genuinely not healthy. So even though I made a shit ton of money, I just would have rather ran scrolls for like 2 hours, 3 hours, made like 400 mil, and then just went and laid down until I felt like doing it again. Because at least during scrolls, I can like chill out, and then I can get up, walk around, ungriefable. Like literally, there's a rock post right there. I can just sit there until I'm ready to continue. It's just so chill and easy. Once I start that loot scroll, I physically am stuck for an hour unless I'm okay with just letting it go. And let me tell you, I'm not. Another thing to consider is that other grind spots for consistent money. if we look at Fogan's, for example, which is pretty accessible just in general to most people, anybody can literally grind there as long as you have Tuvala gear. Like that's like bare minimum to grind there. You can make roughly around 170 million silver per hour. With that being said, we need to kind of like we need to go over how insane it is to grind Star's End and not get a distortion versus just grinding something like Fogan's for, you know, the same amount of time. So I put in 7 hours, right? For 170 million, I would have made 1,190 silver. That is the same amount of money, basically, what I made from Star's End if we're just factoring in the distortion and the trash suit. If we factor in everything else, like, you know, Kafras, armor weapon stones, the BMCs and whatnot, which I'm not selling, but if we did factor that in, we're looking at closer towards like 1.3, 1.4, which is more money, but the fact of the matter is, I'm not selling that stuff. The Kafras I did sell because I don't need that shit no more, thank God. But my point being is that if you want the exact same results, but guaranteed, you could just do the exact same grind at like Fogan's or something and literally make the same amount of money, but you don't have to rely on a drop. To put things just sort of in the picture here, if I didn't get that distortion drop, my money out of all the 7 hours would have been only close to 800-ish million, something like that. Maybe a bill if we factor in everything. But just from the trash loot alone, it's literally only roughly around 700 million. So yeah, for the same amount of time, you would have got more money at Fogan's than you would have of Star's End than, you know, pulling a distortion. It's just kind of the truth. So I mean, you know, you weigh your options. You want to be an RNG gamer, you want to go over to Star's End and risk it, you know, risk your time and then, you know, get pissed off whenever it doesn't happen, or you want to go to a place like Sulfur Mine, Fogan's or whatever, and grind there and get guaranteed, you know, a bill. Like a bill, 1.1 bill for 7 hours. I could have just went there and just been done. But instead, I went to Star's End, gambled with my time, and now I hate myself. So there you have it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.